Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Dark water. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there. Dark water is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. All I have to do is go to the port. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
Almost there. Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for... As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here...
Understood.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster? The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please.
You can't. Don't put that beast back in the water.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't. Don't. You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. He's gonna get us cops. They can't understand. You can't understand. You're not sailors. Oh yeah. It's a sign. There's something.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
That's no way. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. He's gonna get us into trouble. They can't understand. You can't understand. No way.
You're already in trouble.
Come on, can't we sort this out? You can see he's half drunk.
There's nothing for you here either.
To sort out.
Beat it.
Your chum wanted to stir us up.
There's nothing
You
for
can
you
stay
here
to
either.
watch if you want.
Beat
You
it.
can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard. You'll see what a true sailor's got in his belly.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
I see grounds for
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it?
Yeah, we saw.
So that
You need to...
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The Stranded Whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater. When our whalers left for long months and came back, sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew then.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about...
Oh, yeah?
Oh, come on.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about...
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Drinking it... Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last.
The wild.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
I had the wing of the
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high.
What you looking at, stranger?
The clientele is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this flea trap.
And I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who goes to disturb her. Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
The girl doctor, Colden. She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
I told you to beat it.
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard, the Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins, but that's all I'll get from them. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies me.
Can you not?
Don't you worry.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
Can you tell me?
Look, I've already shown it to you. It's the one with the cop on guard duty out front. You can't miss it.
Understood. I shall be on my way.
So come back and...
Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in...
What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not...
What could have done?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. Looks like Phoenician. Or a very primitive runic script. I've never seen anything like it. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back.
Quiet.
What?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again.
So?
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it...
I've taken enough of...
We'll see you later.
Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Why, we don't have a clear conscience.
Quiet. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
What's with you wandering around?
We saw you. Go die of thirst.
Kat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes.
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
I went to see the statue of Saint...
What makes you think we did it?
We're boot...
Who do you think?
What do I... Who else?
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind...
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site, and we let...
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead.
I bid you, gentlemen. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case...
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the question?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at
The whole
Don't get it.
What do you mean?
He can be on.
Is he?
No. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked.
You again.
No.
Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. I could use this old winch to lift the grating, but it's been completely taken to bits. There must be some spare parts amid all this clutter.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned.
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my...
What? And I told you to beat it.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type. You're back again. What can I...
I shall be on my way.
So come back.
something coming. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots.
That's no way to treat an
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
This language.
What's with you, one?
We saw you. Go die of thirst.
I bid you, gentlemen. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us.
What could have...
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's...
You didn't tell me that the...
Because it's a... And now...
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it.
This handle will be perfect for the winch. A ratchet device. Exactly what I need. It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle. Damn, I broke it.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
This muddy alley is yours? Good for you. I've got work to do.
I don't think that you've quite understood the situation. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not. Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
Ugh. I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her.
What's with you, one?
We saw you. Go die of thirst.
I bid you, gentlemen. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Yeah. Aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that, if I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly. But it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm very serious. A whole family died in a fire, and I've got reason to believe that there's still more to be said on the subject.
Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. Cops, they can't understand. Damn stupid idiots.
It's fine. He's with me.
Oh, okay.
Be a gentleman and move that for me. That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
It's clear that you knew the victims.
I can still see the poor child lying. We had to tear him off.
It's horrendous. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the... Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Okay, I get it.
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed. but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum?
He talks too much.
That's, you know, Charles was always gotten... Is there anything...
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkable...
A sad old...
Gee.
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the...
It's got nothing...
So, let's...
Night falls quickly.
I'll...
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected person. I don't understand.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary and steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins. Poor kid. The caretaker takes... The caretaker takes great care of... Someone must... Poor kid. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater. What do you think you're doing? So talk, and no baloney.
The police report describes...
Webster is as stubborn as...
He wants to...
The mansion...
That's why...
That's right.
And this...
It's...
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
Do you have a moment?
What now?
Nothing. Sorry.
Stop wasting my time.
Piers, shall we enter? Now that you finish your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? This roast. What strange creature has flesh like this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Piers, daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Sarah Hawkins painted herself with her son, Simon, ready to go somewhere, but without Charles. They seem happy, but Charles is already looking off into the future. His marriage just a stop along the way. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? They had a fight. Why? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I think that some of your colleagues should turn in their badges. This room is bursting with evidence that seriously contradicts the official inquiry.
Well, of course, Mr. Holmes. Like what?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Dr. Fuller?
A brilliant surgeon. And so...
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin.
I can tell where young Simon was.
I can't...
Without...
Marshal, we never did...
I firmly believe that... I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. The same bandages that I saw in the warehouse on the docks. And given the bloodstains, I'd also say that it's the same person. This door is blocked from the outside. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects. Did you hear that?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire. There's something disturbing about this painting. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. A crowbar could prove useful. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. Dark water history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment. Perfect. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Bradley? Is that you?
A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller. Such an excessive dose. Either this man is a charlatan, or Sarah's condition is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Is anyone there?
You! Stop!
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. They seem happy, but Charles is already looking off into the future. His marriage just a stop along the way.
Where did he go?
Must have got out some way.
No, he was here. I'm sure. Let's search this room.
It looks like an old seaway map. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the... It looks like a freehand map of dark water. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce. Secret passage, under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene.
3 seats.
Look.
Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others? What is this mask supposed to represent? This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Was Sarah Hawkins here? Did Charles Hawkins hide something in this chest? This padlock is too complicated for me. Of course.
There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my...
Fine, fine.
Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust. These paintings must be several centuries old. These buildings seem to have come out of the water. These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep? Time has weakened these structures. I don't have time to search them all. What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me?
We'll see.
Yeah,
It looks like animal oil, but certainly not whale. I gotta... Oh, I can't breathe. What's happening?
No, damn it! I must find a way out of here. No, damn it! I must find a way out of here.
Is it my turn?
Yes. It is time. You will soon be one of us, if your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream. It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual. I can't read Latin.
your sleeves. Accept this drink.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitag.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Padk Cthulhu Bithinko.
Grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig Padk Cthulhu Loigna.
Grant him your dreams and accept his, so that the paths of your souls finally intertwine.
Yor El Cthulhu Kashab.
Let his soul guide you to us, just as your dreams guided it to you.
Locked.